From Atlanta News First Plus, this is Sports Tonight.
And here we go.
Welcome to Sports Tonight here on this beautiful Thursday. I'm sports producer Scott Pennyman, and look who I have an opportunity to host with.
We're flipped around a little bit.
That's okay. At least we have an opportunity to do the show together.
Yeah,
Ellie,
it's been a bit.
Yeah. So how you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. We're getting to the end of the week, and I'm going to be going on vacation next week. I'm going to be out of town.
On vacation?
Yeah.
Didn't you just take a vacation?
That was Thanksgiving does not count as a vacation.
Okay.
Let's be clear.
That's a lot of time. Well, look, I mean, once you get around the holidays, for those of you who don't know, when you work in TV, once you get around the holidays, everybody starts to just, all the good employees that have built up so much time, have built up so much off time heading to the holiday, they can just burn it in the month of December.
You got to burn it somehow.
But that's pretty dope. That's pretty dope that you have an opportunity, hit vacation. You're going to miss, the great thing is.
The entire week.
The entire week?
Yeah.
Well, the great thing is now is before you go, you have an opportunity here to co-host Sports Tonight. And we have some very, very different topics tonight on Sports Tonight. First, we're talking about some soccer.
So, a few months back, U.S. Soccer Federation announced that they would be bringing all of their operations to here in the Atlanta metro area. And today, they finally announced, survey says Trilla Studios. It'll be down in Fayette County, almost 200 acres.
And I love the introduction, how you said the survey says, because that's also where they film the
Family Feud. A lot of the Marvel movies.
Yeah, that's a crazy area. So, I mean, that's just really dope just for the area, right? I mean, when you consider everything that's already going on right there as far as television shows, like you said, in the Marvel series, Family Feud. Steve, I have to get down there to see the Family Feud. I got tickets one time when I first moved here but didn't go. I can't remember exactly why I didn't go, but I've got to get down there to that area, Fayette County. It's a really active area. It's a lot going on there. And I think it's just really good just for the Atlanta area, period, from a soccer standpoint. I've learned since I've got here, right? I will admit, when I first got here, I was not the biggest person when it comes to soccer.
This is not the city you would expect to be a soccer city, but it is.
And that's crazy. That's the crazy part, because I didn't really know that before I moved here. Like, I understood the importance of soccer and sort of the growth that was taking place within our country with the sport, right? I mean, as far as, because there were always jokes made about the U.S. and soccer, and that wasn't really their sport.
I remember the Simpsons skit with like Monday Night Soccer.
Right. It was like, we like football, not football, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so that was kind of, a lot of people were, and I was one of those people. I was one of those people who soccer wasn't really a priority as far as the sports I really like. But since I've moved here with Atlanta United and just being at one of those games before and just feeling the environment,
they're so fun.
Of soccer.
If you've never been, they're honestly one of the best things you can do in this town when they're in town.
And that's crazy, So, I think it's really good, not just for soccer. And then, obviously, down the road, you have the World Cup coming here. Was that 20?
You got the World Cup in 2026. You got Copa America, the opening match with Lionel Messi's Argentina in 2024. And then you probably have the Club World Cup in 2025, which is a little weird. That would take like 5 minutes to explain. We don't have.
A few minutes. You can't break it down and give us like the
Club World Cup is its own beast. I'm gonna be honest.
I was gonna say give us the version, because there was always those kids like back in school that would never attend school, and then finally they would come like one day out of the week and they would ask you like another student to explain what they've missed over the last week. I was gonna say just give me that version, like the kid who doesn't come to school sort of version, everything like that. But it's real cool. I mean, I think the point here is that soccer is growing so much, especially here in the Atlanta area, and when you think about just that part of town too, like Fayette County, and then I've covered a lot of Atlanta United practices and everything like that, and I'm glad I broadened my horizons. I really am, just because of everything the sport has to offer and just how big it is around the world. Now Fayette County, they getting that facility. I can't even imagine what that facility is going to look like. Well, I can imagine it because they were saying miles with me.
I'm going to assume that U.S. Soccer is super excited to be here, because right now they've got their headquarters up in Chicago, and 2 facilities, one in Kansas City, one out in Carson, California. So bringing all of that, all 27 U.S. national teams. There are 27
That's crazy. That's a
U.S.
lot.
national soccer teams, bringing all of them to Fayette County. I have to imagine they are so excited for this opportunity in this part of the country.
Well, I'll tell you what, you don't have to imagine a whole lot, right? Because today, obviously, Atlanta News First was out there talking to people about just kind of what they feel about this facility coming out there. Our own sports director, Bailey Burmaster, went out there and she sat down with Daryl Hicks, the chairman of development for Fayette County, and just to sort of get his feel on this whole thing and just what it's going to do for the Atlanta area and for a bunch of other questions and everything like that. Check it out. Tell us what you think.
So one of the things that we're excited about as it relates to U.S. Soccer is they're moving their headquarters here in addition to the National Training Center. It is a perfect fit for our community. We're a soccer community, we're a world-class community, and for us to have the opportunity to have them located here in Fayette County and the things that it will do for our kids and our community as it relates to soccer is fantastic.
What makes this such a perfect place for U.S. Soccer's headquarters?
We're a big soccer community here. We love soccer here. We have a lot of soccer teams, traveling teams, high school teams, local recreation teams. And the fact that U.S. Soccer will locate here and even provide their expertise around soccer, provide expertise as it relates to the coaches that are coaching soccer, the kids that may have additional opportunities to train on professional fields. It's just a great opportunity for us.
What do you think this impact will have on the community directly once this facility is up and running?
You know, when we started talking about U.S. Soccer and recruiting them here, one of the things that was very clear to us is they can become, Fayette County can become the Cooperstown of soccer like baseball was for Cooperstown. And the fact that they are here and they're so renowned around the world doesn't do anything but elevate our community and create more opportunities. And what most people don't understand as it relates to venues like this, not only does it impact our community, but it impacts those that will want to come to our community because they're here.
And that was kind of like going on top of that. How big of a deal is this really for the county? We were kind of talking about, you said this is one of the biggest.
Well, think about it like this. 50 years from now, people will be talking about the fact that soccer came to Fayette County and how it changed the dynamics of Fayette County 50 years into the future, and for the generations in the future, the kids that are coming after us. It is a huge deal. I don't know if I can put it into words, but it is a hugely positive deal for our community, for our citizens, and as a corporate leader, they will be instrumental in helping us reshape and shape the future for us.
How did you guys go about coming to this piece of land where the facility will end up being?
So it's a collaborative effort. Here in Fayette County, we work together with all of our community stakeholders, our elected officials, and to be quite honest with you, Triliv and Dan Cathy and his folks were very instrumental in helping put together this opportunity for us. And as a development authority, we just figure out ways to make it work.
As like chairman of development, what does it mean to you that U.S. Soccer was looking at a bunch of other counties in Metro Atlanta, but this is where they chose?
It's always great because we know that there are other communities that are, just great community, fantastic communities. So when you're chosen, you start to realize how people value your community and the product that we sell. And the product that we sell here is community. How do we tell our story? How do we tell the story of Fayette County, and every entity that comes here helps us tell that story? What a wonderful story U.S. Soccer will be able to help us tell as it relates to our county.
And going off of that, community too, it's become such a big soccer community in Atlanta because of Atlanta United. How does it feel to be a part of this becoming essentially a headquarters for soccer in the United States, not just Atlanta, the United States?
So, I talked a little bit about the fact that we believe that we're a world-class community. It is projects like this that helps really defined that for us, and not just in, my eyes, folks like me who do economic development, but even in the eyes of our community, our citizens, who understand that we really do have some tremendous corporate leaders, and soccer, recreational, good health, exercise, just enforces our world-class status.
I don't know if you can answer this question, but do you guys know the time when you guys will start to break ground?
I believe the press release indicated that it will be sometime early next year, so we will start then.
In your wildest dreams, did you ever expect anything like this to happen for you and the county? And honestly, I mean, where does this rank among things that have ever come to Fayette County?
I'd say that in our wildest dream, we never would have imagined recruiting soccer. Just would not have imagined that. But what we were focused on is making sure that we recruit those companies that fit with our community. And so when this opportunity came about, we were like, this is a perfect fit for Fayette County. But did we think it was going to happen 5 years from now? It wasn't even on our radar.
I mean, so I guess in the grand scheme of things, like, people that are just casual observers might not really understand how big of a deal it is for Joe or Betty or whoever that might just be hanging out down the road. What does this mean for them that basically all of Fayette County is going to be uplifted by this one project?
Yeah, so for them, it gets right down to, one, quality of life. Their quality of life will be changed because you're bringing an entity like this here. And our community is always focused on good health, trails, parks, those kind of things. And soccer, U.S. soccer is a perfect fit for that. Now here's the other thing, and in my role, I have to think about what does it do as it relates to revenue for the county. Every citizen is taxed. A project like this will just attract so much more tax revenue for the county that every citizen should be excited about the fact that they don't have to pay more taxes because we don't have the type of projects here that generate the types of revenue that this project will.
Anything else we didn't ask? Anything else you want to talk about?
No.
Lots of excitement, right? Mm-hmm. That's it. I'll definitely be brushing up on my soccer as we head here these next coming few years, right? Because there's going to be a lot of exciting things.
There's going to be a lot of it here.
Hey, so from one, I love making this transition from football to football, right? So about that transfer portal, it's been crazy so far this year, right? I mean, it's been
open for like
business,
4
right?
days, and there's 1,600 kids in it. One of them is Florida running back Trevor Etienne, brother of Travis.
Brother Travis from Clemson. Hitting the portal, right? So Florida, he's only a freshman, right? I mean, Florida, Trevor Etienne over at Florida, their leading rusher this past year, over 700 yards, has entered the transfer portal. Now, there's some whispers and some rumors.
Whispers and rumors.
Although I will say the other day when I heard whispers and rumors about where Brock Vandegrift was going to end up, that's exactly where he went, to Kentucky. So right now there's whispers and rumors that Etienne might have his eyes on becoming a dog for the University of Georgia, being in that backfield, which is, when you look at it, it's a good thing, because when you look at who Georgia is going to lose this year in the backfield, they're going to lose some heavy hitters back there. They're going to lose Kendall Milton, who's a senior, Dejon Edwards, senior. That was their kind of like their 1-2 punch in the backfield. They still have some guys back there that can run the football, but landing Etienne would serve two purposes.
That would be big.
It would be big from a standpoint of, number one, you're getting a good running back who's quality and can run the football. Number two, you're also weakening an opponent because he's leaving an SEC school in Florida and coming to you. I mean, it's not like you – let's just be real. It's not like you have to weaken Florida that much, right? I mean, they're doing a very good job of that themselves. With Billy Napier, it really hasn't been that great since he's got there. So I don't really think you have to do much weakening of the University of Florida. But yeah, I mean, anytime you can pluck one of their better players and stick them in your backfield – it's a good thing. And when you look at how UGA uses their running back, so they don't really use a feature back a whole lot. They kind of use a couple different guys, and they run the football.
They really spread it around this year.
Yeah. So, but they, like I said, there's opportunities and openings in that backfield. So that would be a really good addition, especially if you keep Carson Beck heading into next season. They're going to lose a lot. Let's just be real. Yeah. They're going to lose a lot either through the transfer portal or through the NFL draft. The casualties
they've already lost quite a few players through the transfer portal, like the aforementioned Brock Vandegrift.
Oh yeah, you got that, and there'll be some more guys on offensive line, backfield. They're gonna suffer some heavy losses, but let's be real. This is the University of Georgia, right? You don't
need to do much convincing for kids to come here and play.
No, it doesn't have to be like convincing. And let's be real. When a 5-star guy leaves, a 5-star guy comes in. I mean, that's business at the University of Georgia. That's what they've built out there, and that's kind of what they've always been. So even at the tight end position, you have Brock Bowers, obviously all-world tight end, one of the best to ever play the position at the school. He leaves, and right behind him, you have guys like Oscar Delp, who was a 5-star, and all those guys. So I think same thing goes for the backfield. And look, I mean, let's just be real. That's the state of college football now. It's a lot easier way to rebuild is through the portal because, you lose a few guys through the portal, which
look at Colorado. They basically rebuilt the team overnight through the portal.
Yes. I mean, that's what – and it's pretty much college football free agency, right? And I think it adds an element to college football that's interesting because I'm not going to lie. Let's just be real. If I'm a player and I'm a good player in college football, I'm going to enter the portal as much as I can.
Yeah.
Reason being, it's pretty much free agency every year.
Yep.
And with money being a major factor now, I want to see what I'm worth at the end of every season. So if I have a big year, there's no reason for me not to enter the portal after any year I have, especially years in which I had a big year, because I can end that season, jump in the portal, and find out what my worth is across the country.
And you can still just say, all right, I'm just going to come back.
Yeah, you can come back. It's the ultimate free agency, right? This is even better than NFL free agency because because I know I have my spot back in my school for the most part, especially if I'm a good player, if I'm a good running back, if I'm a good wide receiver, or no matter what position I play, I know my spot is pretty much guaranteed if I come back to school. So I can jump in the portal, see what's there for me. Look, I mean, if I hit the portal and then this school wants to offer me $1 million, $1.5 million in NIL, I'll go to that school. I'll sell my services to the highest bidder. If that school doesn't want to bid a lot, I'll look around for some other schools. I know at least at the end of the day, if none of those things work out, I can just go back to my current school.
Yep.
It's really a great system now that a lot of these college kids can benefit from financially and even from a playing time standpoint. Because, look, let's just be real. If I'm a backup at a big-time school, if I'm a backup quarterback at the University of Georgia. Yeah, Brock Vandegrift. We just talked about Brock Vandegrift. And I knew that was coming too because if I'm a backup quarterback,
why wouldn't you go somewhere you can actually be the starter and get playing time?
Exactly.
Why wouldn't you?
There's no way in hell I'm going to be a backup quarterback at a big-time school and just sit for 2 or 3 years until the guy leaves. Because I know that if I'm at a school like Georgia or if I'm at a school like Ohio State and I'm a backup
still going to have to compete with every single 5-star freshman that's coming out of high school.
Yeah,
and this isn't the Packers where you can sit 2-3 years behind an Aaron Rodgers and still know that the starting job is yours after those 2-3 years are up.
Exactly.
You have 4 years, basically.
Yeah, and just think about Vandegrift, like you just mentioned Vandegrift. There's no guarantee that he was going to be the starter next year because you have Dylan Raiola coming in, 5-star all-world quarterback. What if he flashes as a freshman and takes the job? Now you're screwed if you're a guy like Vandegrift. So, yeah, I mean, it gives you an opportunity year after year to see where you fit in with your current team. And if it's not working, I'm going to bounce to another team. I mean, it's common sense to me. Business.
Absolutely. It's absolutely a business decision.
It's always business, never personal.
It's always business decision. And with a lot of these guys, this is probably going to be their big chance to make money. Even if some of them are going to go on to the NFL,
for sure,
they might still make more money in college.
Yeah, make that money now.
If you're saying, we're going to give you $1 million, for your services.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, look, you know what? Whatever. There's so much money to go around right now in college football. Why not test my worth in the portal? I mean,
absolutely.
This is just. For me, it's common sense. I mean, I'm surprised 30, 40 players from a team don't enter the portal because if I'm a starter on that team, I want to see what my worth is in that portal.
Yep. Absolutely.
Thinking about the portal, right? You want to talk about some basketball? That's where we're headed, right?
Yeah, I mean, The transfer portal might even be worse in basketball with so many D1 programs. But we're talking NBA. We're talking the in-season tournament.
Going on right now. Well,
I think one of the games is actually going on right now.
Okay, yeah. It's the Bucks and Pacers right now. They're playing in the NBA in-season tournament. So
and then we've got the Lakers.
I know
Pelicans
at the beginning of this
this
in-season tournament, it was a little hard to understand. I didn't really understand what the goal was here. I didn't really understand what the NBA was trying to do.
And I said this last night. Me personally, I checked out once they put out those terrible court designs. Please get rid of them. Just use the normal courts next year, please.
You don't like the courts?
No.
What's wrong with them?
I think they're garish. I think they're too loud.
Oh wow.
They're like Oregon's court. There's too much going on. My focus is on the court, not what's happening on it, and that's not what it should be.
That's true. I mean, as a matter of fact, I was walking back there once the game started, and one of our videographers here made a comment about the court. I'm like, yeah, that kind of is the first thing I was looking at was the court with these games. But look, the NBA, I think they felt like they had to do something, right? Because some of these regular season games,
they mean nothing.
They get boring. Okay, especially for your veteran teams, right? Because let's just be real. With the NBA, when every season starts, we know beyond a shadow of a doubt, there's only about 5, maybe 6 teams that has a realistic chance of winning an NBA championship. Yeah. We know what those teams are right now, right? If you watch any sort of basketball, you know the 5 or 6 teams that have a chance to win it all. Milwaukee, Boston, the Nuggets, the Lakers, and there might be another team or two that may have maybe like a fleeting chance or something, like the Clippers or a team like that may have a small chance of winning a championship, an outside chance. So I think what the NBA in-season tournament does is it gives kind of casual fans or just NBA basketball fans in general a chance to see and feel something different. You know,
gives them a reason to watch. Gives these younger guys a reason to really care because the prize per player is like $100,000, right?
Yeah, I mean they get a lot of money if they win this thing. I think don't they get like each player gets it's like $500,000.
Yeah, it's something insane. Like that's going to be as much as some guys' contracts.
Yeah, I mean there's a lot of money there to be made from it. So yeah, I think from that aspect it's cool because it gives you something different. They're playing these games in Vegas tonight, so it gives the players themselves a chance to go to Vegas during the season and sort of just enjoy that whole vibe. We all know what Vegas is, right? It's a lot of fun. So yeah, I mean I think from that point I wasn't on board at first. Well, I'm not going to say I wasn't on board. I just really didn't understand the tournament. But now you gather more of an understanding and you realize what they're trying to do. They're trying to make regular, ordinary Wednesday, Thursday night games in December mean a little something. So I think from that aspect, it passes the test because we wouldn't be looking at these games as anything other than just Thursday night games in December that in the grand scheme of things will mean nothing, right? I mean, that
would just be numbers on a page.
And now at least they get a cup for it and some money, so I think that's pretty dope.
Sean!
Hey, this is it right here.
It's time.
So it's time, okay? Look, I'm going to gracefully bow out because we're about to talk Georgia Tech women's volleyball as they play in the NCAA tournament.
We're going to get anchor
and let me be real.
Anchor Sean Gables over here.
Yeah.
Real.
There is not a
ambassador has arrived. Ambassador of volleyball.
Look, there is not another person that I think that I've ever come across that knows more about the sport of volleyball than Sean. So I'm gonna step aside.
I wouldn't say I've mastered it, but I will say this: if it's middle school, high school, college, club volleyball, I'm your girl because I'm the ambassador of Georgia. I want to see this sport explode. We got a professional team coming, Atlanta vibe. I mean, if this city is on the cusp of something great in the sport. I mean, we've seen Nebraska. We knew that if they won this, it would be
people.
It would be upset of the upset.
Yeah.
We knew that would be it. But it's like David and Goliath. If you're going to go into a city, you got to have the mental mindset because at some point the giant has to fall. And that's the great story that's coming out of this sad loss is the potential for greatness. I'm not sure where I'm supposed to be looking. If you want to, right there.
That camera.
I see it now. Okay. But the potential for greatness, there's so many storylines that can come out of a loss. Sometimes you got to lose to win.
Yeah. And this is not a Georgia Tech program that's really done a ton lately outside of this coach. Like, this is definitely a program on the rise.
Michelle Collier has done a fantastic job. She's the head coach of Georgia Tech's volleyball team. This is the second time, actually the fourth time that they've made it to the NCAA tournament, but the second time they've actually got to actually, let me just start over. This is the first time that they've made it to the Sweet 16 since last year. They only made it to the second round before they got eliminated. And so the beauty of the story is that even though they lost against Nebraska, which is the number 1 team in the country, this was going to be a hard one to win.
30-1.
Yeah, well, but here's the point: is that they made it there.
Yeah.
They got further than they did last year. So this is a notch in their belt that this program is still improving. They're still doing a wonderful job. It was sad to see them lose, but on the other hand, you've got a promising story of an incredible volleyball team. The middles was maybe perhaps where Nebraska really capitalized on this game, but they've got a Alpharetta High School senior, Logan Wiley. She's a 6'2" middle blocker that is coming to the Jackets, and she is going to swarm, and they're going to come back stronger, better, and I am going to predict it this year. Record this.
Oh, we are.
Georgia
we
Tech
are recording this.
is going to win the national championship in volleyball next year.
Next year. All right.
Okay.
We will
You heard it
return
here
in
first.
1 year.
You heard it here first.
In 1 year.
In 1 year. I'm so proud of the team. Yes, it was a terrible loss, but there were so many lessons you can learn from it. And Georgia Tech and Michelle Collier, I want to say this, Michelle, you did a great job with the team, and I'm proud of you. Don't give up, because next year is your year. Reload up. They got a lot of seniors coming out, but she's got some kick-butt players coming in for next year.
All right, thank you so much, Sean, for
Oh,
coming
do I have
in.
to go now?
You're the volleyball guru
This
of the
Ambassador
station.
Gable signing out for all things volleyball. Thank you for the opportunity.
I told you I was going to
Welcome back, Scott.
I told you I was going to let Sean cook. That's what it was all about.
All right, what's
Let
on your
Sean
mind?
cook. All right,
What's on
quick,
this?
real quick, what's on my mind? Thursday night football tonight, Pittsburgh Steelers against the New England Patriots. If this was about 17 years ago, this would be a really good football game because it'll be Tom Brady against Ben Roethlisberger. But tonight, the Patriots are like 2-10. The Pittsburgh Steelers somehow, through some kind of way,
They had
are
to use
right
Bill
smack dab.
Belichick to promote the Pats for this game.
It's kind of crazy.
No.
I mean, somehow, some kind of way, the Pittsburgh Steelers are in the playoff race. Yeah. I have no idea how, right? I mean, they have half of a quarterback and Kenny Pickett. They have an offense that can't move the ball from here to that door over there like that. But somehow they're right smack dab in the middle of the playoff race, and mainly because Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin is such a fabulous head coach. He's coached their way. He's Tomlin his way to being in the playoff picture. Meanwhile, the New England Patriots are a total disaster. They're like 2-10 or whatever.
They're like 2-10, I think.
They're much closer to the number 1 overall pick in the draft than they are the playoffs. Bill Belichick, who knows, might be on his way out the door in New England.
Yeah.
Who knows how that's going to go? It's really ending kind of like what I remember as a little kid when the Dallas Cowboys, I didn't know who this old coach was, but his name was Tom Landry. He was at the end of his career, and things were really going south. I didn't know who he was, but all I know is their team was terrible every year, and it was a really bad, almost crash ending for him in Dallas. It seems like that may be the way things are going in New England with Bill Belichick. It seems like maybe, I don't know if the game has passed him by, but that situation may have passed him by, and that's okay because he's been there like for 400 years, so it's just fine. I think he had a great run, and it's okay. What's on
my mind? Different NFL team. Sean McDermott. No. Did you see this?
What's going on with Sean?
He had this team meeting, and he's trying to find a reference point for a team coming together.
Uh-oh.
And not only does he reference 9/11,
Oh, boy.
he picks the hijackers
Oh, no.
as his reference point.
Oh, no.
No, bro. What are you doing?
Yeah, it's still. I don't care when you bring that up. It'll still be too soon. You know?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
He had to apologize for these comments, but God, how do you make them to begin with?
And probably half his players probably don't even remember. They were so young. I mean, they go to history books, but they're probably even young to begin with.
Yeah.
So, hey, look, this has been great for Sports Tonight here. This was a lot of fun. We smashed a lot of things
This
into
is
the
a
show.
lot of fun. It's always a lot of fun.
This
doing
half
it with
hour
you.
flew by.
Yep.
Ellie, it's always great to have you on the show. Let's do it again some point in the near future. I'm sports producer Scott Pennyman for this on a Thursday. We'll be right back at you tomorrow with some more Sports Tonight. But we got to go.
We
See
gotta
ya.
go.
Later.